All right, so now he's dry, and now we're going to do some blushing on him a little bit more before we finish it, him up. It's F237 Natural Blush, and then the part A, again, 50-50. I just wrote it there on the screen for you. I'm going to mix it, and, those two colors together. I might have done a little bit more of the silicone versus the thing. It's supposed to be 50-50, but it was just the way it spreads out. And it just spread a little bit faster, so. But it was 50-50. Just try to get as, equal parts as you can for this baby, And I'm going to use that same one that I used before, but I'm going to just use kind of a different side of it or whatever. Because I want to work with this when I'm doing it. I want a smaller one. So we're going to dip, and you can see the two different colors, how different it is. One is more deeper, and this is more red, okay? So I'm going to dip in. And we're going to go ahead and do his cheeks again. And again, I want to get a really good grip on this so I can really get in there when I'm doing this for him. I could just use my fingers, I guess, but I just want to get in here really good. Make sure there's nothing on my hands when I go to touch him. Just want to make sure. But okay, so we're going to do the blush tone on the cheeks here. Give him a little bit more of a flesh tone there versus the color of his whole body. So I want to do the flesh here. And believe it or not, I see it probably better than you do. Hopefully you can see it on the camera, that it is a different color. Let me draw in more so you can see this. Okay. And then I'm going to work on this cheek here, giving him a beautiful, cheeky color, because we want the cheek to be more. So... And you want to make sure that you blend this in good. I'm actually going to turn this just a little bit more and get a better grip on it. Okay, so I can get in there better. And again, I got to wipe my fingers down because if I touch him right now, I'm going to get red everywhere. So go like this and do the cheekbones, because that's where the flesh tone would be. Not flesh, I keep saying flesh. The blush tone. He would be blushing in this area. Have that, like babies, they get flushed looking. So you want that flush look. And you can see as I'm doing it, it is, a different color from what it was. Put a little bit more in here because I want to hold it differently. The way I was holding the sponge over there was differently. So he gets that beautiful flesh tone. Flush. Flush, I can't even say it right. Flesh tone to him. We want a beautiful, beautiful flesh tone. Okay, and then we're going to go on the forehead here. Just go up kind of in a V-like. Just to give him more flesh tone. Come down his nose a little bit. So he's nice and flushed there. Okay. And then I want to do a little bit on his chin. And you can see how it changes. See how it changes the color? Because it is different from the other. And then I want to do his chin. And we need the small one for this. I want the chin to be more of a flesh tone. Flush. I keep saying flesh. I mean flush. Flush. I don't know why I keep saying the name wrong. Just to get that chin a little bit more of a flesh tone. So we'll keep going. Getting that cute, flushy tone on the chin and the cheeks. Okay, and then I'm going to go around the area here. It is blacked out, but I'm going to go around here just to make this more red again. I want to get it a little bit more red in here in his genital area, because that would be much more red area. Just like on Octavia, she's very, very flush or red in that area. So we're doing the same here with him. And as long as I've got the sponge here, I just want to do it. And then I can see that I need to fix an area here. You wipe it off, because sometimes you get some on your hands. And I'm not actually using this color there. I'm just making sure he doesn't have any spots on him. But take advantage of that. If you do get any little spots, well, you can call them little birthmarks if you make mistakes, you know. So, all right. Now I just want to kind of go around the ears to give that some flesh tone. Oh my gosh. Can't believe I keep saying flesh tone. Flush. a flush tone. Okay, around the ears a little bit. So it'll, you know, they'll stand out more, and Octavia's is like that. So we'll just lightly go around, and that's why I'm using the sponge this way, because it would be harder to do on him because he's so small. So, but again, you'll get an idea what I'm talking about when you go around the edges like this. It gives it that flush, that blushy, beautiful flesh tone. It makes it a little bit more red. And I wanted that for his ears like that too. Can I get a little bit more because the other one's a little bit more red? And don't worry what you get on the head there, because we're going to just dab it off. But yeah, he is really beautiful, you guys. The coloration, I just wish the video would really stress that. The video doesn't, and I really hope the pictures will really show his beautiful, beautiful color, you know. I just want that coloration to really show how beautiful that is. I think that's good right there. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I think that's a good color for him. Yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. I think we've got him to the color that I want him. So I'm going to back up here, but keep his parts covered. And basically, I'll look and see if there's any on the back. I want to flush up his butt just a little bit. I'll do that. And I think that's pretty much it. I might add a little flesh tone through him, just some spots, so he's not like just all one color, even though he's not. You can see the coloration. But like I'm saying, I'll just kind of dip right now and show you what I mean. Maybe just some spots where I might go like this, and it'll give it a different color there, you know, so that it just gives some flesh tone there too. Different coloration, because nobody would have exactly one color skin. We just don't, you know. So that's what I kind of want to go through and do on him too, is just give him some blushing in different areas just around on him, just so that it does, you know, give him the, you know, illusion as human skin would never be exactly all one color. We just wouldn't be. Be nice though, right? To have perfect skin. We'd be a Barbie doll then. We actually would be a doll. So as you see, as I do that, it just leaves, you know, just a little bit of a different coloration in that area there compared to what color he is. If you can see what I'm talking about, I'll have to draw in again for a second. And I got gloves on, so it's hard to draw in. But as you see the difference. There's like 2 different shades there, if you can see that. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about there, where it's 2 different color tones there. And that's what you want. You want those flesh, you know, flesh tones in there. We'll do a little bit on his belly. I just don't want to take out any more paint. So I'm just going to do just a couple little areas just to flesh him up a little bit. Just, you know, not the same areas, just different areas that I want to do, just to give him some flesh tones. And we're almost running out of paint here. So let's just quickly finish up here, giving him a little bit of flesh tones, different spots on him, because we're almost out of paint here, and I just want to make sure that we get some different coloration on him, which makes him look so beautiful. You know, makes him look real. That's what we're trying to do. That's what these babies are all about, is we're trying to make them look real, like real babies. And he certainly now is so lifelike to me. It's just unbelievable, you know. And what I want to do here is go down these areas here to really emphasize the rib cage. I just thought of that. I want to do that. Emphasize the rib cage there, so that we see that more, you know what I mean? So it really defines it. And you know what? I'm going to put out some more, and I'm going to do some inside the rib cage too. Just a tiny little bit. We don't need a lot. Should I have this turned over because this one's almost empty, but I can fill it back up. I think I see a little piece on him. Oh no, that's not. Okay. Just need to fill this back up again. It needs to be filled. But just a little drop there. Because we don't need much more, because I'm just going in the rib cage with this. And I'm going to do it with the sponge. Okay, but I do got to mix it. Mix the paints here. Hopefully you guys are seeing. I don't even know because I have it drawn up really close. Oh, I do. I have it drawn up really close. So I'm just mixing it again. Right there. The flesh tone. The blushy color. Just a little bit there, mixing it good. And then I'm going to go in between the rib cages because I just thought, hey, you know, there's where the artist comes in somebody. They see something and then they want to do it. And I noticed as I was doing it, you know, just one little spot there, I really liked it. So I went, oh, that's going to really emphasize the rib cage, you know, because it would be like that, you know. So we're going to do that, going down the rib cage to emphasize more of that. And it's sad because babies born this early, whatever, do have that, you know, their ribs showing like that because they're really skinny babies because they're not fully developed, you know. So we're going to go in between each one here, and then I will wipe so that it gives it that beautiful coloration on the inside. Again, making it look more real. You know, the more real it looks, the better. So thought, hey, let's do that too. And I hope you guys are able to see what I'm doing here. It's funny, I say Abel and his name is Abel. So just get in between these rib cages. Lift up his arm just a little bit so we don't get any paint in there. I'll get my hand out of the way though so you guys can see still. And it's going to emphasize those ribs. That's what you want to do. Why I was doing like all those little folds on him too, all those little lines, because it just emphasizes more and really brings it out. And that's what we're shooting for, right? So hope you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I am doing this for my very first project of doing a baby like this, you know, painting a full silicone. My first time, but like I said, I did a lot of studying and I am an artist. If you follow my channel, you'll see that I do nail art and everything, and I have done many paintings throughout my life. I've also painted, I've said before in this video that I painted some figurines for my brother for his room. Certain figurines that you couldn't get that were, you know, never made. I did it for him for a surprise one year for Christmas because I had his name, and so he really loves when I get his name because he said, every time he gets a gift, he said, it's so unique and so awesome, you know. I try to make sure that I do something artistic. I make him something very artistic, I do. And yeah, I love the way that turned out in the ribs. If you guys can see that. I don't even know if you can. Like I said, I'm going to have to show you this up close because I'm seeing something totally different than you guys, you guys are. It's just amazing. Absolutely insane how beautiful this little guy looks and how real he looks. Gosh, it's crazy how real he looks. It's kind of scary how just paint can make something come alive, you know, make it so lifelike. So I'm just going through, and if I see any spots, just kind of fixing some spots. Again, I want to try to fix this up a little bit there. Again, you don't have to have the coloration perfect because nobody would have perfect skin like that. You just wouldn't. You want it to have the flaws. I said it in the video earlier. Imperfection makes perfection. And I heard that, and I read it in a saying. It truly does. So I don't know if you can see as I backed out, you can see the rib cages, you know, the lines now much more defined. I love that. All right, so like I said, I'm going to work on the back a little bit, and we're going to get them put away to dry, and then I will come back with the step of the silicone and the matte powder. Okay, now on to the last step before I do the silicone on him, and then, of course, shine him up after he has that matte finish. I will shine up his eyes, his lips, his nose, below the nose, and the fingertips. I will finish those up and shine those up. But we're going to do this layering color, just one last one, the layering on the top. It's just going to help help everything to blend. So I've got it ready here, and I'm going to mix it. I did it 50-50 again. It's the layering color right there and there. I'll write it on the screen for you, and that's just the layering color. It's like a skin tone, very, very, very light, which is great, but it just will help to blend everything all together. I do believe, I feel, like I said, I just want to do this on the last step. I've seen it done before, even on a darker baby. It just, will just help, I guess, just kind of blend all the colors, blend them and make them look even more real. So I already started, but I just started it just to see if I liked it first, and I do. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'll draw in for you guys a little bit. And now I'm just going to do it all over him. So he's dry, so we're just going to go all over this baby and give him this last layering color, front and back, all over his ears, everything. And remember, when you're putting these paints out, don't put a lot out, because I have wasted some of it by doing that. But again, it was my first time ever painting, so I'm learning as I go along. And yeah, just put out just a little bit because you can always put more. But if you have too much left over, you can't save it because once it's mixed, you can't save the color. You know, you got to throw it because it's going to harden because it is silicone. So it's going to harden. That's why they say it just becomes the baby, because this is silicone on silicone. So, you know, it's just going to become the baby. So you can't save what is left over. So it's better to use less and just keep, you know, building up. I mean, just keep, you know, doing your tray. Just keep putting it on your tray like that, because otherwise, you know, you're going to waste it. And these paints are very expensive, so you don't want to waste it, right? Don't want to waste these colors. I mean, these paints. You want to save them because they can last inside the jar for a while. So yeah, you want to be able to save these paints and, you know, have them if you need them again. If the baby was to peel or chip, which they're not supposed to, I was told, especially with that top coat that I'm going to do, that last one, which is a silicone in itself. It's what they use to make the babies. So it should keep all the stuff and not peel like Octavia did. I don't think she had that step done, or they said they're just surprised that she did because, you know, if they are, it's a certain brand of paint that they're using, because she was saying at Fuse FX that they do not, you know, nothing peels. Now, they don't do babies. They're a movie company. So they make like different props for movies and stuff. So, but they're working with silicone is what they're, you know, they're doing. And so she just was surprised because she said our stuff doesn't do that. So she was just surprised. And I know that there's going to be people out there saying, well, I have babies that chipped and I had to fix them. And again, it has to do with a few different things. One, it would be a certain paint you ordered. It may not have been a very good silicone that you ordered. It could be the fact of that the baby wasn't washed good. I talk about that. She told me about that they have to be washed good. And so did the guy that I talked to. You want to make sure they get a good wash, that they get that that stuff I used, paint thinner. You need that. Or you can use Naphthia or the acetone, but that's more for taking paint off when you're trying to, you know, actually completely strip a baby and put it on. So you would have to wash that off, where you don't have to wash off the Novox. That just gets their skin prepared and ready to take paint. So again, you know, it's just the fact of, sorry, I lost train of thought here. I was just looking at the baby. But yeah, so that's what you want to do, and you shouldn't have any problems with chipping, which is awesome. I'm excited because of Octavia peeling like that. I'm just glad that I was able to, you know about this and do that particular step. And I watch people do that. So, all right, well, that's the front of him. So I just got to let him dry and do the back. And then we're going to go on to the last step. But boy, he is super gorgeous, you guys. Like I said, I just wish you could see the true color in this video. You're just not seeing how red he is. He's just so pretty. Not too red. And of course, this color that I just did lighten him down just a tad, but I will get great photos. So let's get him dried up. And then, like I said, then the next step is going to be the actual silicone, which is, I'll show you, which is the part A, and then the 110 clear. You mix those 50-50, and you do a very thin layer of paint on the baby. Very thin. You want it very thin. And we're going to brush that on with a fan brush. And then that's when you're going to do the matte finish. Then you're going to do the matte powder here. That's when you're going to use that in a real nice soft powder brush. You know, for makeup or whatever, a powder brush that you do, like, you know, your cheeks, putting on blush and stuff. That's what you're going to use at the end to give them that nice matte finish. And then after they dry, after 4 hours, then you would bathe them. And then you got to do the last steps with the silicone. You want to go into their eyelids, under their nose, inside their nose, around their mouth, inside their mouth, because you need that all shiny. And then, of course, the tips I'm going to paint, like I said, with that, not the blush tone, but the lip color one. I'm going to do that on the fingertips without the tip color, which would be right here. That would be the tip color, and it's called Nail Bed. So that would be, you know, for the tips. But on him, I'm not going to do it. I'll be doing that on Octavia. And then after that part is dry and done, then you would do one more silicone across the eyes where you got it wet, in the nose, the mouth, the lips, and the fingers and toes to protect that too. So, you know, you won't have any peeling. All right, guys, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to layer up the back of him after he's dry. I'll come back in when I go on to the next step.